All right. Welcome to, I believe this is going to be a Conspiracy Corner podcast episode. Just driving to work. It's going to be a drive cast today. It is July 22nd, 2026. So I'm going to be doing these more often. Basically, probably movie reviews while drive casting. Because, like I said, every Tuesday, the local theater has half-price movies. And I have a popcorn bucket, too. So, I get discounted popcorn. If you are interested in movie reviews and stuff, I do have a playlist on YouTube called Conspiracy Corner Cinema. Mostly I cover conspiracy movies, which this one, obviously, if you would know by clicking on the title, this one, if you've seen the trailers, delves into the occult, witchcraft. So it's technically Conspiracy Corner episode. So as far as updates, yesterday I went and seen that. It was a 5:30 showing. I didn't get in the theater until like 5:45, 5:50. Which, I mean, they do probably like 10-15 minutes of trailers at the beginning. So I didn't really miss much. But basically I walked in. By the way, this is going to have a shit ton of spoilers. I basically just walked in on like the dude's cat was dying. It's kind of like this nerdy guy, kind of feminine, and it ties in with the story. So let me plug my stuff real quick. I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to the channel, it helps me pay bills and stuff. I will send you a signed Conspiracy Corner bookmark through snail mail. Within the future, I do have a plan on making some Blue Pill Podcast bumper stickers, because I don't have any stickers for Blue Pill Podcast yet. So I may get some of those made. I try to give you guys something back. Like, I know it ain't much, it's just a bookmark or a sticker, but every little bit helps, like my channel, getting tips from Buy Me a Coffee. The bookmark, I'll sign the bookmark if you want me to. If you don't want me to, you can just message through Buy Me a Coffee, and that way I know, hey, don't sign it, because some people like stuff pristine for collector's purposes. But as far as an update, man, it's hump day. I'm thankful for that. Yesterday was a pretty rough day because we were doing installs on cabinets and it was hot as fuck. It ended up like storming super bad towards the end of the shift, like tornado warnings and shit. So I almost didn't go to the movies, but I did. It did kind of ease up, and my wife took me because she's been doing Japanese classes, so I've been kind of just going to the movies by myself, which it ain't bad. So yesterday I seen Obsession. This is the first movie in a long time that I was genuinely creeped the fuck out. I think the last movie that I watched that genuinely freaked me out was probably the first Conjuring movie. Or it would have been that Paranormal Activity, the one with the witch cult. That one was pretty fucking creepy. But yeah, very rarely am I creeped out by a movie. So I think it's just like I'm desensitized, Like when I was younger, I used to get freaked out more often. Sleepy Hollow freaked me the fuck out. Signs freaked me the fuck out. it was that witch scene in Sleepy Hollow. That shit fucked me up as a little kid. I was scared that like a witch was gonna, because I had bunk beds, I was scared it was gonna like grab me, you know, from while I was climbing down the ladder or something. That little girl on Sixth Sense, that shit fucked me up, where she's hiding under the bed. Yeah, but I'm just, over the years, I've just gotten more desensitized to like scary movies and shit, because I'm a big fan of horror, but this movie was creepy as fuck. And it's mostly just kind of like creepy, disturbing, because, so here's the intro, basically, is like, there's this thing called a One-Wish Willow, and it's a group of 4 friends, and one of them is in love with the other one, like the main character, I forget his name, he's in love with this chick, not Sarah. Sarah's one of the girls in the group. Her name's Nikki. They call her Freaky Nikki. They all work at like a music store. But so they're all friends and stuff. Like they go hang out after work. They go bar hopping, and they're just like a tight group of co-workers / friends. But the main character's in love with this chick named Nikki. And they're on the phone one day. Like, they do talk to each other and stuff. And this Nikki girl is actually, like, a sweetheart. Like, at the beginning, they're like, bar hopping. And they see this homeless guy sitting there. And Nikki goes over and gives him, like, a $20 bill. So they kind of, like, show that she's, like, a very caring, very sweet person, you know? Which comes into play later. So, the main character's cat dies, and I guess he just threw the cat away in the trash, because it comes into play later, with some pretty fucked up shit. And he's on the phone with Nikki, and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay home, my cat died, blah, blah, blah. So, she's like sitting there on the phone, and she goes, oh fuck, my crystal fell into the sink and I can't get it out. So he's in love with this girl, so he goes and he finds this occult shop, you know. And just a little side note, so if you've kept up with the channel since the beginning, if you're an old time listener, hell, even before I was podcasting, I used to have, and I still have all my occult items and stuff, but I used to have kind of like a segment where I would like either talk about occult items, or I collect occult items. Like I've got Ouija boards, I've got pendulums, I've got Charlie board, I've got all sorts of just weird occult shit that I've collected over the years. I just like weird shit like that, you know. And I have like experimented and used some of these occult items. Well, actually, I think most all of them I've used and experimented with. So I had never heard of a One-Wish Willow. And I can't help but like, in my mind, the businessman comes out in me. I guess entrepreneur would be the word. Because I was like, dude, they have to make like a One-Wish Willow merchandise if it's not a real thing. So I looked it up when I got out of the theater, because I wasn't sure if it was an actual real occult item, like if it was based off of a real occult item, right? So it's not a real thing. I did find a website, and it's a One-Wish Willow like prop website. You can actually buy like a One-Wish Willow. I seen obviously the conspiracy community was freaking out about it. Here's my thing. When it comes to witchcraft and it kind of ties in with Tulpas too. So the only way that witchcraft works, or creating a tulpa works, is you have to believe in it. If you don't have belief in it, it's not gonna work. And a lot of people go, that's why I don't believe in witchcraft, you know, that sounds shady as hell or whatever. It's the same thing with like ghost hunting. Like if you don't believe in ghosts, you're never gonna have a ghostly experience, you know? Or at least you're like highly unlikely to. So, yeah, they do sell One Wish Willows. Like, I wish I could show you guys the website and kind of go through it with you. Maybe I'll do it at the house as like a segment, because I do plan on hopefully podcasting after work tonight. As long as I get home at a decent hour. Who knows? They might keep us late. Who knows, man? We're going to be at a job site doing installs all day, I'm pretty sure. At least finishing up a house. And I know we're loading a truck and adding it to it. But yeah, so they made an actual One Wish Willow. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I might order one. They're only like $3 or $4 plus shipping. I think it would be kind of fun to have one. In the movie though, when you open it up, it plays like this creepy little tune. So I'm wondering if they even added that, or if it's just like an empty box, you know. Well, it's got the One Wish Willow in it, but if it's just a regular box, or if they made it to where it plays the tune. So kind of interesting, kind of neat. So my thing is like, okay, with the conspiracy community, I was watching like this woman, she was doing a TikTok video on the One Wish Willow, and it was like an older black lady, and she was kind of freaking out a little bit. And you guys know me, like on this channel, yes, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Yes, this is a conspiracy channel, but I just, over the years, I've become more skeptical of things, especially after studying occultism and learning magic and how it works, like lesser and greater magic and will and all that. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of an overreaction, because she's like warning people, like, do not buy one of these One Wish Willows, you know, don't use it, it's witchcraft and it's real, and the one wish you make will come true. And so basically, dude, the whole premise of this movie is be careful what you wish for, you know, because he's in love with this girl. And he takes her home one night. She's like, pretty much, she put in her 2-week notice. She's going to quit the music store because she's writing a love story and she wants to be an author, which is cool, but it's like, don't quit your day job, you know. I had a brother who literally, he wrote like several books, but never got any of them published. And he would sit at home all day and drink rum and just write all day, but never got anything published. And my mom was like, get a fucking job. And he's like, but I'm an author, I want to take a chance. And she's like, okay, then get it published. Like, hang on just a second. I got a cop up here, it looks like. I want to make sure I'm going speed limit. Oh no, it's just somebody broke down. So he takes her home from the bar one night, and she literally gives him the chance. And I don't know, like I'm a romantic, I'm kind of a Romeo, and I ain't gonna lie, dude, I love and romance and stuff. And she gives him the chance. She goes like, hey, do you have feelings for me? And he's like a real nervous acting dude. Like the whole movie, he's real fidgety and nervous and kind of a nerd. And he's a cat guy. Like literally at the beginning of the movie, he lives with a cat alone in his dead grandma's house, you know. And he's like, no, I don't have feelings for you. And I'm like, seriously, bro? So then she goes inside her house, and the occult shop. I got to go back a little bit. Sorry, I skipped this part. But he goes to this occult shop to get her a new crystal necklace because she dropped it in the sink. And he ends up finding the One Wish Willow instead, and he goes to the counter to buy it, and the lady's like, yeah, I hope you don't bring this back and complain like everyone else. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, does it work or it doesn't work? It's a scam. And she's like, no, it works, but that's why people complain, because it's the whole concept, be careful what you wish for. So he's in the car, she goes in the house, and he makes a one wish, and the way he phrases it was like obviously stupid. He says, I wish that Nikki loves me more than any other human being on the face of the earth. So, hence obsession. It's not like a natural love, and she basically becomes like possessed. And she walks outside and she's just sitting there staring at him all creepy, and he looks over and she walks up to the window and she's like, let me stay the night at your house. Your cat died, let me stay the night at your house. I'm dealing with my dad. He's got cancer. Which, by the way, spoiler, that turns out to be a fucking lie. By the way, I said this is going to have a shit ton of spoilers, so I'll make sure to put the warning in the title or something. Yeah, so they go to his house and she just starts acting fucking nuts. They're making out at one point. And by the way, most of the sex scenes in this movie, I ain't gonna lie, like, you guys know me, longtime listeners, I'm a very sexual person. I love sex. I ain't gonna lie, dude. I'm borderline probably sex addict. I've struggled with like pornography addiction, and I have a very high sex drive. Most of the sex scenes in this movie are like kind of PG-13. There's like a little bit of nudity, like towards the end. One of the girls, Sarah, you get to see her tits and her bush, but it's not exactly very sexy because her face is smashed in. It's pretty fucking brutal. She's like duct taped to a chair. I'll get to that towards the end of the review. So she ends up she was already quitting her job. She ends up basically staying the night, and then they go to work the next day, and she's just creepily staring at him like the entire shift. They never really fuck, but they did make out a little bit, and like she takes her shirt off and shit, so they kind of fool around. So she comes back to the house later that night after their work shift, and she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I was on MDMA last night. She blames it on MDMA. So he's still kind of skeptical about the wish, because it's like, well, was it MDMA or was it the wish, And she basically just ends up forcing herself into his life and moving in. God damn it, a fucking flock camera, dude. They're putting them on this fucking road now. I've been wondering, because there's been cops crawling everywhere, so it's got to be flock cameras. I'm sorry. So, where was I saying, man? Oh yeah, she ends up just kind of forcing her way in and moving in. So now they're in a quote-unquote relationship. And at first, like, everything's kind of going good. Like, he's kind of liking it, but she is acting kind of batshit still. But this is like, oh, she's creepy as fuck at the beginning, but it is nowhere near compared to how bad she gets later. Because she's literally, the spell is working and she's becoming obsessed. So all the friend group they're all concerned. They're like, hey dude, something's wrong with Nikki. I think she's having a mental breakdown. But, oh, the first night, dude, the first night that she stayed the night. So not only is she acting weird and creepy the whole night, like one point they're making out and she just jumps up and starts screaming saying she's seen something. And she does this like twice. I'm not sure if they never show what she sees and they only mention it twice. It happens. I think it's kind of like a possession, demonic magic type of thing, you know? So the morning comes and she fixed some breakfast, like eggs and bacon and sausage and shit. And then all of a sudden the camera pans down and you hear like flies and shit. She took his cat out of the fucking trash can and she put it on this pillow and has these photos around it and like candles lit. And she goes, do you like what I did? I made a moratorium. Is it moratorium or memento? Or she made like a shrine of the cat. And he's like, no, dude, this is not fucking cool, dude. Like, this is fucking weird. I don't like this shit. Not cool, bro. So they go to work. She stares at him all day at work with this creepy ass smile. So yeah, dude, this is where it gets creepy, man. Like when I was telling you guys, I kept getting creeped out. And by the way, too, there is a lot of fucking humor in this movie. Because she is so fucking batshit insane, dude. And I try not to speak ill of the dead, but it reminded me of my fucking ex-wife, dude. My ex-wife was batshit fucking insane. Like, there was points even my mom was like, I swear that girl's possessed. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, as crazy as my ex-wife acted, there was times I was like, I genuinely, I'm not even joking, was like, is this girl possessed? She would act demonic, dude. Like, there was one night she smashed through the window with her bare hand and crawled. She stuck her head in the window and our bed was right next to it. And I just see this creepy ass head pop through and she goes, what are you doing in there? Are you trying to sleep? And I'm like, you fucking psycho, dude. It's like crazy shit like that. So if you've ever been in a relationship with a crazy chick, yeah, you will relate to this movie. And it's one of those things you just kind of laugh to keep from crying because you're like, oh man, I remember this type of shit. And it was kind of funny, man, because like the whole audience was laughing. Like we had a good little crew. Like, it wasn't a huge turnout because not a lot of people go to the movies anymore. But there was this black couple next to me and they were hilarious, dude. Like, the whole time she's just like, oh, run, boy, run, man. Man, this bitch is crazy. Like, sometimes I ain't gonna lie, dude. I feel like, Amelie, if you've ever seen that movie, like, I have more fun sometimes watching and listening to the audio reactions than the actual movie. I know it probably sounds creepy, but somebody can relate. So let's go back to the cat. The cat comes into play another time during the movie. So she did the momentum thing or whatever the fuck you call it. That shit was creepy as fuck. She keeps the cat around. So she had to have like put it in a garbage bag somewhere or something. So one of the days he gets up and she's just like sitting there in the living room reading a book. And she's like, hey, I packed you a lunch. You already know where I'm going. She goes, hey, I packed you a lunch. And he's like, oh, that's nice, you know. And once again, it does like the beautiful cinematography too, because they do this multiple times where you see his face that he sees something, but you don't see it yet, and they pan over real slow. So he gives her a kiss and he's just like, hey, can you stop like acting weird? I know you're going through some stuff. And she's like, yeah, I'll do better, you know. And he goes to leave, and the entire door is just plastered in fucking duct tape. Like she doesn't want him leaving, and it freaks him the fuck out. So he grabs his lunchbox and he's trying to rip the door off. This is where it kind of gets into like one of those humorous moments. He's trying to rip the door open, and she goes, well, if you're having trouble with the door, why don't you just stay home, you know? And he's like, no, I'm good, I'll go to work. So he gets to work, and they're on lunch break, and he starts eating the sandwich. So, earlier in the movie, he had said something about, like, his dream job is he wants to be a food critic. They're on a date at a restaurant. So, like, it becomes kind of like an inside joke. She's like, oh, you're my little food critic, you know? And she had a Post-it note. It's like a sandwich. That's all it is. It's a sandwich, lettuce, tomato, and some form of meat. And she put a Post-it note on top of the sandwich that says, to my little food critic. And he eats like half the sandwich. And he's hanging out with Sarah, the coworker, talking to her on lunch break. And she snatches up the Post-it note real quick, and she goes, little food critic, what's this all about? And he goes, oh, it's an inside joke between me and Nikki. Don't worry about it. She flips it over, and all it says is cat with a question mark. So she chopped up and skinned and cooked this cat and fed it to the poor main character, man. So this is what I'm saying, man. Like, she's batshit crazy, but it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So he ends up throwing up and working his shift, and he comes home, and Nikki, by the way, had stood up and gave him a kiss goodbye. She never left the spot from when he left, and she goes, oh my God, I'm so glad you're back. I missed you so much. And she's covered in piss and shit, and she's got shit all over her fucking mouth. She had not left the spot the entire day and was eating her own shit for subsistence. And he's like, what the actual fuck? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I just don't feel good. So she hops in the shower and is cleaning up. And she has like these little rager moments when if there's something she doesn't like, she just screams. So he's like, hey, Ian from work wants to have a boys' night. And he's like, do you care if I go out? And she's like, yeah, let me finish my shower and let me tidy up and get ready and we'll go out. And he goes, yeah, but it's a boys' night, you know? And she does that whole scream thing, and then he goes, what's wrong? And she's like, I texted Sarah, and Sarah's going. So then they all go to this party at Ian's house, and they're playing like this, like, what's the game? Jenga. I think it's called Jenga, where you stack blocks, and like, this is like an adult version, so each one has like a little message on it. And she's being weird as fuck the whole time. She ends up picking up one of the blocks because it's her turn, and it says she has to read a poem. So she reads this crazy ass poem that apparently she wrote, that it's going to go in her new book. The book is about Hansel and Gretel, and it's like incestuous, and I forget which one. I think Hansel's the dude and Gretel's the girl. And like in the poem, Gretel is telling Hansel, hey, I know we're brother and sister, but I gotta have you inside of me. If I can't have you inside of me, I'll cut your forearm. I'll cut off a piece of your forearm and I'll roll it up like licorice and stick it inside of me. So like the whole party is just like, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? And then it's her boyfriend's turn to pick up a Jenga block. So he picks one up, and it says to kiss the girl on your left. Well, guess what? Nikki's not on his left. So she just stands up and does this weird-ass pouty frown, which once again is one of those humorous parts. You have to see it. It's fucking crazy. And she just walks up behind the Sarah chick and just pulls her chair back and kneels down besides the main character. And she's like, she gives him a kiss, and she's like, I don't think people understand how much I love you, and blah, blah, blah. This bitch is nuts. And then she stands up and she said, everyone will die in this room before they realize how much I love this man. And everyone's just like, what the fuck? This chick's a party crasher, man. Like, this chick sucks. And then she goes, ha, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. And, yeah, dude, so then, like, she doesn't get any reaction that she likes. So she grabs a rum bottle, and this is the second time she does that whole, oh my God, I just seen something. And she jumps back and starts screaming. And she does this like 2 or 3 times in the movie. This is one of her, like, I don't know, I guess you'd call it like a tick or something. But when she gets upset about something, she will bash down a bottle and start jabbing glass into her face, man. And yeah, dude, it's like one of the first scenes in the movie that, like, you're like, oh shit, I was not expecting that. Because the whole movie's kind of slow up until then, as far as like brutality and gore and shit. So this is when it starts ramping up. So they take her to the hospital, man, and they stitch her up, and the main character's talking to a nurse outside, and you can kind of tell that the nurse is like, dude, we can't keep her, you know, she's not answering questions correctly, and she's dancing in the background in the parking lot, so he has to take her home, dude. So yeah, like, one of the creepiest scenes, dude, was, they have sex, and, he's passed out, and he wakes up, and it's like 3:24 in the morning. I'm not sure the numerology on that. I know, like, the devil's hour is 3 a.m. during the time of 3 a.m., so I'm sure that's kind of like a nod to that. And she's not in bed with him. And he wakes up and looks over, and it's super dark, dude. And she's standing in the corner of the room wearing nothing but his sweater or something like that, like a coat, you know. And he's like, oh, you're wearing my coat? And she said, yeah, it smells like you. And he's like, so what are you doing? And she said, oh, I like to watch you sleep. Can you go back to sleep so I can watch you sleep some more? So this bitch is obsessed, man. And then she starts prancing around the room doing this creepy ass fucking dance. And she does this like creepy ass dance throughout the movie. And I'm telling you, man, this movie's creepy as fuck. And then she runs out of the room and grabs a flower pot, and she starts dancing with the flower pot in front of her face, which makes it even creepier, because it's like that whole, I wouldn't say uncanny valley, but like when someone's face is like hidden but they're still moving around. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's psychologically, it's creepy as fuck, man. So he's like, what are you doing? What's that for? Can you stop? Like, you're freaking me out. You're being weird again. And she's like, oh, it's for you, because your cat died, you know? And he's like, oh, thanks. So then, after the party, the whole group, they all become more aware that this bitch is nuts, you know? So Sarah texts the main character, and she's like, hey dude, meet me at the park, I want to talk to you. And by the way, Nikki is already suspecting that Sarah's in love with the main character, which turns out she's not wrong. Now, that could be like some demonic shit, because I don't know if you guys know much about demonology, but that's one of the things they say, like, if you're demon possessed, like, you have knowledge of, like, hidden things, whether it be, like, the future or hidden secrets. You know, you have, like, a knowledge that you should not have naturally. It's like it's like a superpower, man, you know? Hang on just a second, I'm pulling into work, and I'll kind of probably wrap it up here, because we're probably around the 30-minute mark. Let me pull in here real quick. And this was like the most brutal part of the fucking movie. So, Nikki comes up, and this will be like the last spoiler, and I'm going to wrap it up, because I don't want to just sit here and rehash the entire movie. It's like the only jump scare in the movie, or at least it's the only one that actually caught me off guard. But, they're just sitting there talking, and the window, like, fucking bust, like, and it's her head through the window, and she starts slamming Sarah's face into a brick, and I mean, she bashes her face into a fucking pulp, dude. It is insane. But, I'll wrap it up here since I'm at work, and, we're already past the 30-minute mark, so, dude, go see this movie. I give it, honestly, dude, a 10 out of 10. It is the creepiest shit that I've seen in years. Go see it. I think it's like A24 or a Blumhouse. It's a generic film. All the actors are generic. They're not like mainstream actors, but 10 out of 10. It creeped me the fuck out. If you've seen it, hit me up in the comments. Like I said, spoilers, but I hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hopefully I'll put out an episode tonight. I do want to get into some Mandela effects soon. There's 2 new Mandela effects, and it ties in with CERN shutting down, which we covered that. Yeah, I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe, and y'all have a good day. Like I said, I'm at least once a week, I'm probably going to be doing movie reviews, because I do want to see Disclosure Day next, and hopefully it's still playing in the theater, or hopefully there's some newer movies next Tuesday, and because I'm going to go every Tuesday. The tickets are half price, and I got a popcorn bucket, so I'll probably be doing at least one movie review per week, as long as it's something I want to watch. But y'all have a good day.